and welcome back to Dad. Did we just break America?
I'm Skylar, your resident Gen Z doom scroller.
And I'm Corey, your somewhat cynical Gen Xer.
Okay, so Dad,
Sky,
you didn't seem too enthused about it at first or seem to want to chat with me about it, but I think I roped you in.
kind of.
You
I mean,
fell
okay.
down the hole.
Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist just like everybody else. Okay.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
What do you call yourself?
Right.
On everything?
Every conspiracy theory in quotes that I've believed has turned out to be true.
Okay, but like, we don't know that some are true all the time, right?
Sure, but I don't necessarily
For
believe.
sure.
Like, there are some conspiracy theories that are too wild for me. Like, I'm like, that's crazy.
Like, give me a for instance.
Like a bunch of them. I don't know. Look up like biggest conspiracy theories. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Anyway, get to
But
the
like that,
point.
so like no, there are crazy things that I don't believe. Like I don't believe that certain people are like still walking the earth, you know? Like people believe that Elvis Presley isn't dead and he works on the grounds of Graceland. That's nuts.
Well, that would make Elvis Presley how old at this point?
Ancient.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't.
But also, like, people go there to, like, scout him out, and, like, do I wanna go to Graceland? Yeah, because it's a cool place to visit, and my boyfriend loves Elvis, but
Wait, one more time. Stop. Time out. Full stop. Like, Elvis or loves Elvis?
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's like so out of character. You learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen. I
Yeah.
did not know that, and now I feel better that I know that.
Yeah, but, like, do I wanna go there? Yeah, it's a cool part of history, but I'm not going there to, like, scout out Elvis because he's still
Well,
walking
you're
around.
talking about a salaciously ridiculous
But
conspiracy.
people really in their hearts believe that,
Couldn't possibly still be alive at this point.
and if he was, I don't think he'd be, like, walking the grounds by unassisted.
No.
That just seems, like, biologically impossible.
Okay, well,
Scientifically impossible.
but you're focusing on one.
I'm saying, like, there are crazy out there conspiracy theories that I'm like, okay, like, I think some conspiracy theories are things that we tell ourselves because there are certain things in life that don't make sense.
Well, don't you think a lot of life is that way?
Yeah, and we need things to make sense. We want to know the answer to things.
Do you think it's that we want to know the answer, or we're just intrigued by things that are outside the norm because most people are bored with their lives?
Both. A little bit of both. Honestly, I think the longer that you don't tell people the truth, even if it's bad, you allow people to go to the worst place in their minds and fill in the blanks. But we
That's
have
a very interesting statement.
yeah,
Did you say that again?
like you're literally
Yeah.
the longer you don't give people answers, you allow them to go to most of the time the worst places in their mind and allow people to fill in the blanks. We as people want answers to things.
Want answers, or as human beings need to be in the know. We need to know what's
Probably,
going on.
but there's probably a biological factor to that if you go back to like where we came from or who we came from.
Do you think it's actually an effect, though, of having information at your fingertips all day, every day?
Well, probably just exacerbates it. Why is there so much information at my fingertips? But
But okay,
there's
let's
these
let's take
widely
a
known
step back.
thing not being told the
Let's
truth.
take a step back, and I guess you were trying to lasso me into the current event of the week.
Well, you said nobody cares, and here you are. We are in. He cares, guys. He cares. And by the way, everybody cares. Nobody can stop talking about it.
Why don't you tell everybody what we're talking about?
The mother of Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie, 84, Tucson, Arizona native, she's missing. It's like day what, 16?
Okay, so you're saying everybody cares. Why does everybody care?
Because her daughter is on the TV every day. We all know her. You watch people on the TV every day and you kind of feel like they're like a part of your life in some weird sense. That's deeply unhealthy also.
It's interesting that you say that. So,
It's like a parasocial relationship.
a parasocial relationship.
Yeah, like people that you only follow online, but that like you think you know.
Okay. A parasocial relationship. Okay. Well, we all want to identify with somebody else because we hate our lives, right? That's why reality TV shows make sense in the first place. That's
Okay, well,
why.
speak for yourself.
Well, no, it's true.
I really like my life.
But you are entertained by watching. Again, why do people slow down on the highway where there's an accident? Do they slow down because there is a danger to slow down to? Why do
No,
they
they
slow
want to
down?
see the scene unfold.
Right, because we're all voyeurs. And that goes to
Expectation,
the
but
same token that we're all so obsessed with bad things.
yeah,
None of us are mobsters, but we're all in love with the Godfather saga,
yeah.
The Soprano. Why do people romanticize it? They're so intrigued by
'Cause
it. We are
there are parts of it that are like
we
more
are as a
fun.
society focused on things that we would never have the ability to do.
For sure, 1,000%. Like that would never be my life. And like, wow, that's interesting.
So I think that that's a big part of it. I think that it's really focused on, we want to know what's going on in the world. And yes, we identify with the fact that her mother is 84 years old. She lives in a nice town, blah, blah, blah.
Where crime doesn't really happen, I think is a
Well, where crime like that really doesn't happen.
yeah, no, like petty crime
But how
happens,
often
but
do you hear of somebody being kidnapped?
like these don't happen that often, and they don't happen here.
Well, I think they happen in third world countries where people are traveling and they try to kidnap them for money. This is a
Like they're
different
very
story. There's been no real ransom demand, right?
well. I don't know what
Nobody
you
called anybody and said, "Give me $100 billion or your mother's never going to see the light of day."
you're saying your mother, so you mean nobody reached out to the family
Well,
directly.
from what the news says, I mean, again,
You're asking me though, has there been a ransom? I don't know what you.
there are a lot of parts that we don't know, right?
There have been. I'd call them letters, however they were sent, right? To 3, I believe 2 news stations that are like local affiliates in Arizona and to TMZ. We know information about them, some information about them from those news stations.
Okay.
There's been no word ever on if the FBI or the local police was ever able to verify the identity of the letters.
And what do these letters say?
I think the first one was gonna be, I think it was 1 at first, I feel like. Now I'm getting all mixed up. But I feel like it was 1 at first. It was a address to a Bitcoin wallet, like a link.
Okay.
And it was gonna be $4 million by this deadline, $6 million by this deadline. There's some talk of the second deadline having the consequences change. So one would assume if it was a real ransom letter, if you don't pay by the second deadline and they're saying the consequences are different.
That second deadline is coming up.
Yes. And one would assume that they have the money to spare. And if they gave Savannah Guthrie proof of life that they had her mom, she would have paid it. She said that. They made a video and said, we're willing to pay, but we need to know that you have her mom.
So according to some of the news reports that I saw, there are at least 4 specific messages
Now there have been more that are
claiming
different.
to offer knowledge of the kidnapping in return for an award.
Different. This is different now. Now there's this other, and we don't know if they're related. Now there's this person.
Right, it seems kind of bizarre.
It's bizarre. Now there's this person or people, I don't know, that reached out to TMZ. This was like at the end of last week. I think the first one of these came
Okay.
and said, I can tell you who kidnapped her for 1 Bitcoin.
Just 1 Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay, that seems like a no-brainer.
Right, but they can't verify the identity. They can't verify if this is real or if this is just somebody that's
Just trying to pull your leg just to say,
like
I have.
just wants to involve them
I-
in this story because of course you'd pay this person money for your 84-year for information about where your 84-year-old mom is. And then he was upset that he didn't hear back and then he wasn't being taken seriously. I don't know why I'm saying he. I'm sorry, I don't know. And he
I was
wrote
gonna say, how do you know it's a-
they wrote another letter to TMZ saying this is the last time I'm going to communicate. You're not taking me seriously. People are going to call me a rat and I need the money to be able to protect myself. But I have this information.
Yeah, that sounds made up.
It doesn't sound real. It's also awful. Like, if you have the information about somebody's 84-year-old mom, you should probably give it to somebody. But then
Well,
again, no,
playing devil's advocate, why do I care?
no, right, but if you care to involve yourself, then just, like, give it to somebody.
Somebody only cares because they think they're going to get money out of it, right? Which is sad in unto itself.
No, it's like it's awful.
No, it's sad unto itself, but I'm saying,
No, I get it, it's awful, and I also playing devil's advocate understand that, like, nobody is
so
there's nothing forcing
let's take a
anybody to
deeper dive.
help the authorities.
What is her mother? Why take her mother? Why?
You couldn't get to her?
Well, that's untrue.
I've heard that it's very hard.
Why? I can get to anybody.
Okay, I'm just saying what I've heard.
Anybody can get to anybody if they really want to.
Okay, well, maybe it was a local person, easier, because this doesn't seem like some, like, highly
But
organized.
what's the motive? What's the motive? There's got to be a motive, right? For somebody to commit a crime, for somebody to do something that's against social mores. Why would somebody kidnap somebody else's mother?
I don't know, and that's what leads me to think that it doesn't have
Like,
to do with her daughter being Savannah. I don't think it does. I think it's like
so it has to do with the mother specifically?
I think it's
Well, it either, there's got to be a couple of different possibilities, right?
yes.
It's either because her daughter is who she is, and there's something involving her daughter that somebody wants to make a point of or convince the daughter to do or not to do, right? Because the daughter's at the table to be able to say something or to go on to national news and say something or not say something. So I want to convince the daughter to do something. Well, how best do I do that? I either do something to the daughter or I do something to somebody that the daughter cares about. Now, if I wanted the daughter to do something, why wouldn't I take one of her kids if I wanted to kidnap somebody?
Again, I don't know. It makes no sense.
Why her 84-year-old mother?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. It makes zero sense.
Is it possible that she wasn't really kidnapped? She was just killed?
Yes, but I don't think that she was killed inside the house. Unless they're not, but no, because the behavior of the investigators in the Pima County Sheriff's Department wouldn't make sense. If she was killed inside that house, you would know.
Well, she could have been killed anywhere.
Yes,
They
but
could have taken the body, you don't know, right?
yes, but we saw the man arrive at that home, correct?
Okay, well, taking a step back for everybody who's listening. Oh, there's a video of some guy in a jacket, an actual ski mask, one that you would
A
wear.
balaclava.
I'm sorry, one more time for the people with the cheap seats.
A balaclava.
What the hell is that?
That's what those people wear to commit crimes.
A balaclava. Wow. You definitely learn something new every day.
I'm here
Okay.
for you.
Thank you for that useless piece of information. Now it'll be in my head and I'll never get rid of it.
If you see anybody buying one, ask them what they're up to or run the other way.
Obviously, they're up to no good. So,
Also,
okay.
if you're in Arizona, probably, yeah, because I don't know what you
Right,
need one
because you're not going to
for.
be skiing down a double Black Diamond Mountain in Arizona, most likely.
Yeah. It's a strange
Okay.
purchase.
Right. So wearing that fakakta ski mask,
Looks like he's wearing multiple layers of clothing.
a bunch of different layers of clothing, look like some kind of jacket. But I know it's warm there, so probably didn't need that jacket.
No, and it looks like it had fleece lining.
Rubber gloves,
Rubber gloves, but it looks like he's wearing
but
other
black
pairs of.
ones, right?
Yeah, no,
Not
black.
like a hospital color.
No,
Not like green or blue.
no.
Or like
That you
surgical
almost
gloves.
can't tell that they're like rubber gloves at
But
first.
they look like they were black. I don't know.
They're for sure black.
For sure.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell at first.
And playing with the doorbell camera.
Yeah, it looks like he was. I mean, we could only assume. It looks like he was probably trying to take it off, and then probably realized that wasn't as easy as he thought it was going to
Take the
be.
doorbell camera off the house?
Yeah,
Before he abducted her.
yeah,
But it was on recording him.
yes. But here's the thing.
Now, anybody who's a professional at kidnapping or doing anything clandestine would know that already. and not do that.
Yeah, there's also something to be said about the fact that in today's day and age, you don't have to be a professional criminal to surmise that if you're going up to somebody's house, they probably have a camera recording you. Most people do.
Right. And if
It's a
anybody,
little
and if
ridiculous.
anybody of any political conspiracy or a governmental conspiracy or some kind of, special interest group or business interest group who was trying to kidnap her mother in order to get her to do something or report on something or not report on something, would have people who were trained in that kind of thing and would know better.
Yeah.
So obviously, or I'll give you another theory. We're all theories tonight.
Or that's the point.
Yeah. The point
Interesting.
is don't watch what I'm doing over here. Watch what's happening over here.
Well, I guess we could get to that, but maybe we should break down the
Yeah.
particulars.
All right. Break it down for us. Let's go.
So back to the gloves quickly. When I first watched the video, they almost looked like leather gloves, the way they're like pulling on his hand. But then it occurred to me, no, I think they're like rubberish gloves, which you said, and that he's wearing multiple pairs of gloves, which would make some sense if the gloves that they say that they found are connected to him, which they also could not be. They're gloves. Like if you look around, probably when you walk there, like you'll probably see some gloves on the street.
Not a normal thing to find, but I have seen it before.
People lose gloves.
Well, you're talking about winter glove or rubber glove?
Rubber glove, probably. I don't know. I don't know.
No. I'm saying yes. We're in a cold climate, so every once in a while,
But
in the
people
city,
could be doing pruning.
okay, but you don't wear a rubber glove to do pruning. You wear a gardening glove.
Right, but we don't know what gloves he was wearing. We weren't
There's a video and a
there.
picture.
But how do you know what gloves he was wearing
It
under?
looked like a rubber glove in the.
How do you know what gloves he was wearing under?
Again, I don't know. Speculating like everybody else is.
He's wearing multiple layers of clothes.
Okay.
You said that, okay, so we're talking about the Ring camera. So it occurred to me that he was
It's
probably,
definitely a Ring camera. It's not.
sorry, it's a Nest camera.
Okay.
Very specifically a Nest camera, because Nest is owned by Google. Sorry. What?
And Google verified the video.
Google's the one that,
Unlocked the camera to give them the video.
let me explain everything, please, because I'm getting too excitable.
Calm down.
Okay, everybody buckle up.
I'm trying to find the other side to my seatbelt here.
I don't know the sequence.
It's like a popcorn?
The sequence of the photos and the videos that were released to us. It seems to me that there's more that they got back that hasn't been released to us. And I don't know which came first.
The chicken or the egg.
Right. So I don't know if he committed the crime, had somebody else in the getaway car with her, because if you watch the video, there are some clips. There's like more than one clip, I believe. Or maybe this is just in the photos and the clip is different. But he has a gun, number one. He has a gun.
In the video, there was a gun?
In the video. And he's wearing a holster like in front of his crotch, which nobody does that.
Some people do.
Okay, well, no person. I've heard.
There was a gun? I didn't see a gun.
Then you're an amateur. I've heard that is reason to believe that somebody that regularly carries a firearm wouldn't holster their gun like that. And the holster wasn't for the gun he was carrying. So I don't think he's all that practiced.
What do you mean the holster wasn't for the gun he was carrying?
It wasn't for that gun. It was too big.
The holster was too big.
Yes.
Interesting.
Most people I've heard from the experts, they say that that's not default where you carry your weapon. Almost as if he wanted you to see he wanted the camera to see his weapon. No?
Yeah, that could have been there's a backpack.
Yes, there's a backpack that's filled to the brim.
Those could be leather gloves.
See, you could look at it for hours.
Some of these videos cut off part of it.
That's what I'm saying, for a reason. So there's more video, we could assume, and why? What did they know? Well, not why, I know why, but what in that video gave them more information that they know more? And they just need help maybe identifying this person. But, so there's the gun, there's the backpack that is so full that leads me to believe that it wasn't a burglary gone wrong, because you would bring an empty backpack or an empty bag if you were going to take
Maybe
things.
he took the backpack with stuff for her to take her. Maybe it's filled with her stuff.
Well, her medication was left there.
Her medication was in the house.
Yeah. and so is her phone
Well, I wouldn't want to take her phone
and her
because
Apple Watch. So, like, her most loved belongings,
how do you know her Apple Watch was the loved belonging?
because she is seen in a lot of photos in her Apple Watch.
I
Then
guess this means we have to AirTag her elderly.
well, here's the thing, she's a pacemaker, which is a Bluetooth device.
Oh, so they should be able to track that.
It's connected to her phone, and you know, like, when something moves out of range, it
Right, the phone
disconnects?
tells you, right?
So, it disconnected, but call me crazy. Can't they, like, fly it really low and see if she's in the area if it reconnects? If she's close enough, won't she reconnect?
It's not emitting a cell signal though. So it's connecting via Bluetooth. So there's no emitting signal. It's just connecting to what it's been connected to before. So it doesn't work like a cell phone would work.
Wouldn't it reconnect if it was close enough to her phone?
It would, but you would have to
Be close enough to
be
it.
close enough to it. And that could be, maybe it's 20 feet.
Right, I don't know. That just made me think, because it has to
But
have a
if it
little
was
reconnect.
something that like emitted a signal,
That's different.
which is a pacemaker. Now, can I track a pacemaker?
I don't know anything about it. All I know that I found out, somebody clarified, that it won't, even if she died, it wouldn't have stopped. The pacemaker would still be on.
Yes, I know that for a fact because when your grandfather died, his pacemaker was actually when he was dying in the hospital. The defibrillator and the pacemaker tried to save his life, but it really couldn't. But it kept trying. And
Okay.
and the doctor said the pacemaker would just keep going.
Yeah, no, and so we know that the pacemaker is
Okay,
still.
so but I think there's no way for anybody to track a pacemaker.
I don't know. I think the FBI is on the case. There are hundreds and hundreds of FBI agents on this case, and the HRT team, the hostage rescue team, very high class team, I've heard, and they're a very special unit apparently of the FBI.
No, I understand that for sure. But I'm saying that okay, so there's a guy with a backpack. He's got a gun.
Well, I've heard from the
He's got
videos that I've watched.
gloves.
I'm talking about the backpack because I've heard from the videos that I've watched that depending on what type of crime somebody's trying to commit, there are a lot of specific crimes where they pack a bag with things that they may need for specific reasons. It's a kit.
You're talking about a kit for things that you may need to do a kidnapping?
No, not for a kidnapping. I'm talking about other crimes. So I'm sorry.
Why would you bring a bag for other crimes to this crime?
Maybe the intention wasn't to kidnap her.
The intention was to kill her?
I don't know. And this is very dark, but hear me out. And I'm sorry to our listening audience. This is dark. Trigger warning. Step away. But people that are like serial rapists, they bring a rape kit with things that they may need to make their crime
Or you're talking
easier.
about somebody who's psychotic who has like a ritual.
Yes, they have a bag that's packed with all their things.
So now you're going to another step. You're saying
I'm saying, why was his bag so packed? It was
but
fluffy.
You're saying but you're saying that this is not a crime that has anything to do with her daughter. You're saying this is just somebody who broke into a house. It's a serial rapist.
No, I don't think it's a random person that broke into her house. I think it's somebody local.
Yeah, stop. Again, motive. What's the reason?
I think she maybe.
Okay, so I'm a serial killer. I'm killing 84-year-old women.
Did I say that? I don't think it's a random thing. I think it's connected in some way. Someone knows her.
So somebody
This
knows
isn't a
her
random
or
crime.
knows her daughter.
Yeah, this isn't a random crime, but I don't.
Well, what did her daughter do that would be controversial?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's somebody that's upset about something that Savannah covered or didn't cover, or that you want her to stop talking about or you want her to talk about. I'm talking very differently. I'm saying like just somebody that knows them.
And for what reason?
Some people are crazy.
Yeah, buying what you're selling.
I don't
have that feeling.
Or it could be her son-in-law.
The daughter's husband.
Not Savannah. Savannah's sister's husband. So Savannah has 2 siblings.
Okay.
Only one of them lives in Arizona, Tucson, right by the mall. She had dinner at their house the night before she went missing, okay? She apparently Ubered there.
To the daughter's house.
Yeah. And then apparently she was driven home. The sheriff has gone back and forth and has not clarified why he's gone back and forth about who drove Nancy home. Did her daughter drive her home? Did her son-in-law drive her home? Did both of them drive her home? Now we're told no explanation for why I went back and forth about it. The son-in-law allegedly was the last one to see her. We know what time at night the garage door opened and closed.
Right, because that's easy to figure out.
But
She went in through the garage.
yeah, but
Do we
allegedly
know what time somebody left the house with her? We don't know that either.
around 2 something in the morning.
And how do they know that? Because that's what time the pacemaker stopped
Disconnected. So she had to have left that.
without the phone.
Yeah,
She has an alarm system?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
What, you didn't just get off a plane from there?
No. But let me tell you why I don't think she was murdered in the home. I know she wasn't. You wanna know why? Because they released the crime scene less than, like, 32 hours later. If somebody was murdered in that house, you wouldn't be releasing the crime scene. That's not protocol, you don't do that. That doesn't happen.
Right, you hold on to the crime scene for as long as you can. Okay, so
There's evidence in that house. Something happened in that house.
she went to dinner at the daughter's house. Somebody drove her home. We're not quite sure who. She goes in the house and then leaves the house by 2 a.m. the next morning without the phone, without the medication, without any of her personal belongings.
Then they get a call the next day, which then it got weird, okay?
Who's they?
The kids. Allegedly.
All of the kids?
No, I think the ones that live near her. So Annie. So at first they said the family members got a call that mom didn't show up to church, okay?
Wait a second.
Then it came out, mom hasn't gone to church in person since COVID.
So who called and said mom didn't show up to church?
Apparently, she got together with a group of ladies, her friends, to watch the church service. She didn't come, and the ladies got nervous, and so they called her daughter. Allegedly, this is what I'm surmising, and I think what we've decided.
Who's this we?
The people.
The people.
The internet sleuths.
Okay.
Because if she was watching the service alone, that makes no sense. Also, somebody reported about it and said that they found out that she
Watched the service where?
on like the computer.
So she would go to a friend's house to watch the service.
Yeah, apparently.
And she didn't show up at the friend's house.
Yeah.
And how would she usually get to the friend's house?
I don't know, Uber or she has a car, but I don't know if she drives the car.
Okay.
She didn't show up. Then there's some differentiation in how long it took them to call the authorities after they arrived at their mom's home. It's like 7 minutes or an hour. That's different.
What?
That's very different. I don't know.
Wait a second.
I don't know what to do with that.
Those are two totally different time frames, but okay.
Right.
They don't even go together.
But whatever time frame it was.
I could see not calling the police right away, figuring it must be a mistake. Mom went somewhere, she didn't tell anybody, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but within a half an hour to an hour.
But we're told that there are things that are in the home that make it clear that a crime was committed.
What do you mean that a crime was committed or there was a struggle?
We don't know. All we know is that they described to us, or they told us, from being in the home, it is clear that she didn't leave on her own.
Okay. So she didn't leave voluntarily.
No. So if you walked into a home looking for a family member, we could only surmise what they saw in that house. There's some blood on the front stoop.
Right.
But it seems to me that you probably wouldn't be looking for mom for an hour if what you saw in the house clearly told you she didn't leave voluntarily. Something's wrong.
Okay. So there's something to be said for...
I'm just confused by it.
Well, there's some kind of reason why.
Either the sheriff is a moron and spoke out of his ass
It's possible.
and messed something up, which is totally possible because he knows that he's under everybody's eye, and then he went to a college basketball game. Everyone can see you.
So what is he supposed to do? Crimes committed every day.
It wasn't a great idea. People were already upset with how he was handling the case. He's under a lot of fire. I'm not saying I'm personally mad at this. I'm saying he's under a lot of fire for going to this basketball game when people have already felt like he was fumbling the ball. I didn't call the FBI in soon enough. And there's a lot of talk from people that have left the Pima County Sheriff's Department about a lot of turnover for whatever reason, that their homicide department, which should be your best investigators, one would assume, they're not, because a lot of people from the homicide department left, they're not their best investigators. They're very novice investigators. And
well, how often do homicides happen in this area?
well, not often, but experience is important.
One would think.
You could be trained and know all the things to look for, but especially in a homicide investigation, not speaking from experience, but from everything I've learned, it's something you have to have actual real life practice at to work that muscle.
You think?
Yeah, they do.
You have to have solved a crime before?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a sign of a struggle
Oh, I think
or
that's what it
something or something.
sounds
There's a sign
like.
of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something happened in the home.
Okay. So then the police get called. Now what? Somebody
Then
puts out
less than 32 hours later, they open up the crime scene. All the reporters are there walking on the stoop showing us the blood. Excuse me.
there was blood on the stoop?
A little bit of sprinkling. It looks as if your nose was bleeding and like somebody handed you a tissue really quickly.
Okay, but that's again a hypothesis.
No, but the way that the blood was coming down, it was like as gravity was pulling it. It was just little droplets. It wasn't a pool of blood. And it
It
came,
wasn't a spatter.
no. And it came out in droplets like the way your blood would drop from your nose if you were standing up. The analysis of the blood, the path that the blood took is the normal way it would come down with gravity. That's what the
Okay.
experts have told me. And that I'm actually very good at. And
Okay, so and then there's no other cameras,
there's two.
no cameras in the area.
There's two
To where?
on her back door too, which was apparently open.
But there's no other camera from the area that saw her leave, saw anything.
No, they just recently asked for from January 11th, I think, of from the neighbors' footage, anything that like looks suspicious.
Nothing.
I think that they obviously I'm hoping that they know more than we do. And I think that they're trying to I think that they believe that this person was casing the house before and they're trying to find this person there in daylight. Most people case a house if they're gonna commit a crime again.
Yeah, it's not a house casing crime.
Okay, well,
Or else they were coming in to rob the house and she happened to be home.
no, you don't always come to rob a house and case it. Like with Brian Koberger, he murdered those 4 kids. He was at that house a ton, at least 12 times before. Apparently, criminals like to get the feel of the environment so they feel comfortable when they do it.
Okay.
So I think that they're looking for this person in the area.
So what are some of the other reasons or ideas that people have as to why she was kidnapped? And how do we know she was kidnapped?
We don't.
I think she's dead.
I feel
She's dead.
awful saying that, but
It's
like
horrible. It's absolutely horrible, but she's dead.
also like apparently it even if she was alive when they took her and they did kidnap her, it's a really long time for somebody that's supposed to take heart medication every day.
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense either. If you wanted to kidnap
For
somebody,
ransom, you keep her
right,
alive,
you
you
want
take her
right,
medicine.
you want to keep her alive because nobody's paying if she's dead. So
I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories, if you'll call them online, about her Savannah Guthrie's coverage of the Epstein case, that she was the first one or one of the first ones to platform the survivors. But I don't know.
okay, so how do we connect reporting on the Epstein
I don't know.
case?
There
And again, this whole fascination with the Jeffrey Epstein case is somewhat ludicrous because Jeffrey Epstein, who supposedly killed himself, right?
that's what I mean by we
has,
don't do
has,
well.
has been dead for how many years?
A while, a long
Supposedly?
time. But we like
And we
pre-COVID.
don't, and every, it's like we're going to release information, but it's going to be redacted information.
But I don't think this information that was just released was redacted, but I just can't I can't go through the turmoil of looking through it anymore. And I'm sorry if that's upsetting any of our viewers. I just don't have the bandwidth.
Well, I don't know what the point is.
I think the
The point is that rich, powerful people have been
don't say it.
trafficking. Why can't I say it?
You could say it.
Rich, powerful people have been trafficking in young girls for eons, and they don't want to get caught, so
No,
they have the guy killed, or he's on a beach somewhere in Uruguay. Like, I don't know.
no, I think the point is exactly where we started this. People in this country do not do well when they feel like they are being lied to.
I don't think that's true.
It
They
is.
get lied to every day, Sky.
Some things are too far for them. Things are blatant. It is.
No,
No.
there's something else going on. You keep news cycles going when you don't want to talk. People will talk about something else.
I don't think it's just the news cycle. I think you should pay attention to who's bringing up the Epstein files, when they want these things to release, who they're attacking for not releasing them, and why they're bringing it up at that time as opposed to another time. That's a question I have.
What? So you're saying
Why are you so upset about it right now when Biden had access to the Epstein files also?
Well, because it's a Trump talking point. It's an anti-Trump talking point, right?
Allegedly.
Well, it is.
If Trump was in the Epstein files, we'd know.
Well, he supposedly is.
If there was a smoking gun that Donald Trump was taking part in the trafficking of young girls, let me explain something to you. We would know.
Well, you would have known a long time ago.
Right.
They'd be skywriting it.
So
It would be plastered to every side of every building.
if I'd venture to guess that he's not.
So, yeah, I just like, I don't believe that people are actually that interested in what people want to know who is involved with Epstein because there are so many conspiracy theories.
Well, right, you
But
allow.
also begs the question is, if he's dead and the crimes aren't happening anymore and nobody's talking about it, nobody really cares, why is she in jail?
Well, again, who
She's in jail.
traffic girls?
She's
too?
she's in jail for what she did by helping traffic people. That's the idea.
But to who? That I'm curious. I'm sorry.
Well, I assume she can't really say because if she says she's dead in the next 5 minutes, right? So that's why she's just not saying anything. That's why she never made a deal to tell prosecutors who she trafficked girls to because, I mean, hey, are they going to believe her anyway?
I don't know, but
Think about it if you're Ghislaine Maxwell,
probably
right? Let's think about it. You go and say, well, it's Bill Clinton. It's this person. It's that person. It's Bill Gates. You have no corroborating evidence. Think about it.
Yeah, nobody is putting their neck on the line.
Think about it. There's no other eyewitness who's going to agree with you.
No.
Except that the girls who claim that they were trafficked
But let's be honest.
and nobody believed them in the beginning. Anyway.
Yeah, we're very sorry and disturbed by what they went through. And
Correct. Which ruined their lives where, what's her, I'm sorry.
Virginia
Guthrie or
Guthrie or something.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, who took her own life. How sad. But I mean, so if you're Maxwell, you can't say anything. No one's going to believe what you have to say.
Except for the people that know it's true, which would probably land you in a worse off place than jail.
The only thing keeping you alive is you're imprisoned and you claim you're not going to tell anybody anything.
Here's my thing. If this was connected to that, we wouldn't have any video of anything because Jeffrey Epstein supposedly hung himself in one of the most secure prisons in the country.
Yes.
And we're still talking about it because there's nobody was there. Nobody saw it.
Well, it doesn't. See, that's a shish kabibble that doesn't make any sense.
But that's my point.
Right. The cameras didn't work.
No, that's my point.
Guards weren't at their assigned posts. Like, come on.
We're still talking about it because this happened this way. Everything went right.
I will agree with you there. That is a big era, bold-faced lie.
Right, but if this was connected to that, you wouldn't have any footage because that's their MO. This is what we're supposed to believe. There was no footage.
You had an amateur at the.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying if this was connected, we wouldn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, it just would have happened and nobody would have known the difference.
We'd be talking about it because they'd be like, "Where's mom?" But
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't
think that's it.
And what is it? I don't know.
But I thought you knew everything.
I've never claimed that. That is you. Okay. I can't figure out why somebody would want to take her.
There's got to be a reason. Right?
Yeah, and then it begs the question, how'd she get into the house? You know what I mean? Like, was there a forced entry? Like, the door, like, I don't know.
That's a good question, by the way. Very good question.
Like, did she...
Is there a forced entry or somebody had a key or she let somebody in? So if she let somebody in, that means she knew who they were.
Right, you're not opening the door for strangers in the middle of the night.
What time did you let them in?
Or did he ever leave?
Or he was there before?
Somebody was there when she got home, possibly. And I feel bad having the conversation about any of her family members because if that's not true, that's really awful. But what else do we have to go on? We're just here to speculate, I guess, at this point. And we're told now, there's a lot of back and forth, but we're told the last statement was that the son-in-law is the one that brought her home. We know
the son-in-law's been cleared.
Apparently, allegedly, but I just saw a headline today that said that the family's been cleared. But last I heard from the sheriff, everybody's a suspect until they're not. So I don't know what to make of that. And we don't know. We know that the garage door opened and the garage door closed. We don't know that he left. They're not saying we went in his car and his navigation says that he got home at this time.
But why is this such a huge topic? Why do we care about this mother? Like, really, who cares?
I do.
Why?
Because I'm into true crime.
Yeah, but like, why is the population of America care about this one mother who went missing? Why? Because her daughter is a celebrity?
Because we like her. Like, you like Savannah Guthrie. There's nothing necessarily controversial about her, you know? She's just like the woman that's on the TV in the morning.
I'm sorry, I don't get it. Plenty of people go missing.
I understand, and it's awful every time it happens. This is a high-profile person.
Maybe she's not missing. Maybe she wanted to disappear. Did
don't-
anybody stop to think about that?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, if you want to talk on a different podcast with somebody who thinks that, go find them. I don't think so.
Where would I find that person? Do I put an ad out?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, like, none of this makes any sense. We're all worried. Got the FBI, the NSA, this thing, and that thing. Everybody's looking for this mother or this woman. Why?
Because she's missing.
How do we know she's missing? Maybe she just doesn't want to be found. Did that ever occur to you?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Something happened.
But you don't know, you weren't there.
Something happened. Something happened at that house.
Okay? But nobody's telling us what that is. So why would give me half the information?
Well, because it's really not their job to give you all the information. Because wouldn't you like them to find the person? You don't want somebody to change how they're behaving.
Again, I don't know why this is such a topic, a popular topic.
I don't know how to explain it to you.
I'm very confused over why this is such a popular topic. It's not like...
Because something clearly awful happened to this old woman, to a vulnerable member of our society.
And while that's a tragedy and horrible,
people want to find her. People care.
I bet you if I went missing, nobody'd care.
Okay, I'd care. Like, shut up.
You would care because you're doom scroller. But I mean...
I'd lose my mind.
Okay, but maybe she just doesn't want to be found.
I don't think so.
But why is that not even a possibility in your head?
Because
she's 84 years old. She's put up with everybody else's shit for so long.
Dad.
What? Listen, it's possible. Is
Not
she okay?
plausible.
Is she okay? Besides the heart condition, the pacemaker, she have dementia or anything?
No.
Okay, no. So that's ruled out.
No, they said she's very mentally with it. She has ambulatory problems, meaning also she couldn't have walked out of that house by herself. She couldn't go very far on her own, apparently. But she's very with it. She didn't wander off.
It doesn't make any rational sense to me. So you didn't plan on taking her because you didn't take any of her stuff for her to keep being alive. But you took her anyway. Or you killed her.
Something went wrong.
Or you killed her and you made it look like she left, but she didn't leave. She's dead.
And here's the thing. If it was random and you killed her, you'd leave the body and run.
Not necessarily.
No, most of the time.
Not necessarily.
Most of the time, if it's a random crime, you'd get out of there for your own safety. And you really wouldn't think that it could be connected to you.
Well, how could it not be?
I'm saying sans the video. Let's forget about the video. In most cases, historically,
you're saying if something went wrong in a break-in or a
you
robbery,
leave the body and you leave.
Right. You kill the person and you...
Unless you know them. And you're so scared that it could be tied to you because you have a personal relationship in which you are with this person on a day-to-day basis.
Would you just kill them anyway?
Yeah, but you'd take the body with you.
What is
more
that
than likely?
Okay, let's stop right there. Okay, true crime lover. What does taking the body with you do? Takes away an exact piece of evidence? Okay.
That's what the experts have said is the modus operandi for these two different things. You're more than likely to be nervous that it's going to be connected to you and freak out and take the body with you if you know that person or if you have reason to be there. Then a random crime gone wrong.
What does leaving the body do to the crime?
I'm not saying, I don't know that they're saying this because it has anything to do with the literal fact of leaving the body. I think it just might be a difference in the psychological.
So now you're going deeper. You're going into the psychological bit
of an interpersonal crime, yes.
And nobody's reported on any signs of forced entry.
I heard that the back door was open. What does that mean? I don't know.
Could have been left open.
I don't know.
You could have opened it.
It occurs to me that if you were breaking into the house, that front door looks like it's very hard to break into, just based on what the door is. It's like one of those Spanish style. It's a heavy door.
Well, there's also the door.
And when is that person covering the thing? Like, is that after the crime has been committed and maybe you realize you couldn't break in the front, so you went in the back?
Well, they obviously have a date and time of when that video is from.
Yes, they know, but we don't. And like you said, these videos seem like there's information missing.
Yeah, it
There's video missing.
doesn't make sense. There are lots of pieces missing.
I don't believe she let somebody in the house that she didn't know
And this happened.
in the middle of the night.
This happened January 31st, February 1st.
Yes.
So we're on our 16th day of this whole issue. The woman's been missing for 16 days or 15 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
The woman's been missing for 15 days.
I think that's also why people are obsessed with it. It makes no sense.
How long has the FBI been involved?
It's day 4 or 5, I feel like. They didn't call the FBI.
Who's that?
The
Police?
sheriff.
I thought they're supposed to call the FBI within a certain number of hours or a certain number of days.
Well, no, they have to call the FBI though.
Yes, I was under the impression I think it's like 3 to 5 days. Then they call the FBI or something.
Well, no, you can call the FBI whenever you want.
Well, they try to solve it themselves, I guess.
Some people don't. Some people look at a crime and say,
No. Local law enforcement would try to solve it themselves.
but some local law enforcement don't. Some local law enforcement say, we don't see enough of this.
Right.
We need to call in the experts. All signs point to the Pima County Sheriff's Office, which I'm sure they're great at what they do, and I'm sure they're great police. But all signs point to they don't have enough experience in whatever the hell went on there.
You don't know. That's the problem. You don't know. You don't know what went on there. You don't know what's the expertise because you have no idea.
Okay, well, what I do know is that the FBI.
The problem here is every day that goes by is less and less of a chance
Of finding her.
or that she comes back a lot.
Yeah, it would seem to me that it's a recovery mission at this point, unfortunately. And I don't want to say that. That's awful. But the chances of them rescuing
I don't know.
her
It just
alive
boggles the mind of stuff like this. Like
doesn't happen here.
Doesn't normally happen. So,
In like a sleepy town off of Tucson.
like, what is like? But I don't know. I'm going with maybe she wanted to disappear for a while.
She's going on sabbatical? Oh.
Why not? What's wrong with that? Maybe she had enough of the whole family. Maybe she got upset. Maybe there was a fight. Was there a fight with the son-in-law?
We don't know. I'm saying, how do we know? You're going back to the families. How do we know? And they could know, and they're not telling us. How do we know that the son-in-law ever went home to his house? All you know is that the garage door opened and closed.
Son-in-law ever went home. So what are you saying?
Did something happen between them?
And the son-in-law killed her and then dragged her body somewhere? It takes a lot to take a human body after you killed them. There's a forethought there.
Okay. He'd have reason
obviously.
to remove her and act like I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I guess.
If anybody would have reason to get rid of a body.
I don't know why. You could have said, I came in, I found her dead.
You came in, you found her dead, you were dropping her phone.
Right. I'm sorry.
Why were you going in? You helped her in.
Okay, you helped her in. What happened that you killed her?
Well, you don't want to say that you killed her. You come home like everything's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense. No, I'm going with it.
Okay, but
Sorry.
It also occurred to me that based on because there's one image, at least an image, where there's no backpack and no gun. It occurred to me that maybe we're looking at 2 different people.
Well, that's possible.
Like, they look really similar, but maybe that's done by design.
That's entirely possible. Probably more probable than not.
Well, right, because where's the car? You didn't put her on a bus. This is an 84-year-old woman.
Right, but you could have parked the car in the street, right?
Well, I think you'd keep the car as close as possible to move her. She's like 150 pounds.
Right, you don't want other people to see either.
To see you moving somebody against their will.
Dragging somebody or carrying a dead body, whatever that was.
Or if she's alive, she's going to make some noise, one would assume. If you're taking her against her will, I'd make a lot of noise.
But there was no sign. There's nothing that came out of the statements or anything that was released from anybody that said that there was a sign of struggle and there was lots of blood.
There was something, they will not tell us what, but there was mention of something that they saw in the house stopped them treating it as a normal kidnapping, I believe. Made them, alerted them that a crime occurred in that house. Would lead me with my expertise in the field of armchair sleuthing.
Your expertise in the field. So you've been doing this for how long? You've been a bed sleuth?
For a long time, you guys.
Yes.
I'm pretty good at it. And every crime, I learned something new to add to my repertoire.
Okay.
A new
How many crimes have you solved?
expertise. 3 or 4, I think. So
Well, kidding aside, you don't have any real experience.
no, but I'm pretty good at it.
Well, it's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a sick hobby.
Yes, there's something severely wrong with you.
Well,
Well, not just one thing.
one, you know what? You watch enough to realize that most criminals, just like other people, go where they're comfortable.
Okay. I'm with you.
And so you kind of follow people's normal routine. Where would you go? Where would you take
Or
the
people
bus?
don't, you're saying people don't deviate,
No, especially when they're on the run.
which should be the actual opposite, right? Of that. They should change up everything that they do because
Well-
they're on the run.
Well, I would like to alert anybody that's maybe listening in the Tucson area that may have seen this video and say that person looks kind of familiar, or I know that jacket. I've seen that backpack before. I'd like to alert any of you. If the owner of that jacket or that backpack has been acting really bizarre for the last 16 days, you should probably alert the authorities.
Assume that
No, you should.
would happen anyway.
No, you should. It's a serious call to action. But I'm good.
A serious call to action.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, if you kidnap somebody, one would assume that you'd be acting a little differently.
I don't know about that.
Once it became a national story, I think you'd be acting a little, if you had an 84-year-old woman with you, I think you may not be showing up to something.
That's the other thing. If you kidnapped an 84-year-old woman and you're a younger person,
It's weird. It's strange. There's
How
no
are you-
plausible
how are you,
explanation.
unless it's your grandmother, how are you explaining it?
Right, and you can't take her places. Her photo is everywhere.
Right. The facial recognition will pick her up.
Like, she is everywhere. Everyone knows what Nancy Guthrie looks like. Everyone's looking for her.
Right. So that doesn't help you.
No, so if you do know somebody that hasn't been showing up to things in the Tucson area, and you saw this video and something said to you, I know that person's gait.
See, but there's something that doesn't make sense.
They're
No-
gait experts too. I'm very interested in the gait.
Gait?
The way you move, the way you walk.
But okay, that's a topic for another time. But like, there's no information on how they left, what car she could have been taken in, or where somebody
No.
went. There's no information on
Not that
Zero.
Not that we know.
that. Zilch, gone. nothing.
You'd hope that they have some.
You don't know that.
No, but one could hope.
But coming back to it, like, I don't, like, okay, it's sad, it's upsetting, but
We like to solve crimes. We do.
I have to say that there's a reason why this is being floated out there so long. Is it that there's either ulterior motive here or there's something else that it's covering, is all I'm going to say.
Or maybe it's just
A
convenient.
coincidence? Well, yeah, it's the story of the week that's
It's
carried on for
convenient.
3 weeks, and it's covering up something else, maybe.
Foreign.
Iran,
Yeah.
about to happen.
Yeah.
So it keeps everybody from paying attention.
Well, you don't want people to pay attention because you don't want people's opinions to get in the way of what you want to happen.
So maybe that's Donald Trump.
Well, he just said today that he alerted the kidnappers that if Nancy doesn't come back alive, they're going to get the death penalty.
Okay, that's not within his ability to do. So
Well, he called for them to get the death penalty if she doesn't come home alive.
okay, so
He-
he's keeping it alive in the news.
He's been questioned about it because he got the FBI involved.
All right. So my
The
theory,
FBI reached out to them.
yeah. So my theory is that,
Tash Patel was in Arizona allegedly for a pre-planned meeting.
yeah. My theory on this.
Who's he
is-
meeting with in Tucson?
maybe I'm sure there's a field office there, but
There is. They're on the case.
okay. But I'm saying my theory, debunking the whole entire thing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you tonight, today, this week,
Next
okay.
week, while we're still on
I'm
the case.
telling
Who knows how long
I'm debunking this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that the reason why this has occurred,
No, not occurred.
that it's in the news so much, and that we're still
Is not
talking
the
about it.
reason why it occurred, though. It's
No,
still
I'm saying the reason why it's
mystery.
in the news so much is because it's covering up for something else.
Okay. Well, but that doesn't. Sure, very plausible. But that doesn't change the fact that these things still happened, and it's still a mystery
100%.
that I would like to get to the bottom of. Now, there's another man and they say that the security cam, that it might not be able for it to be him based on the timing, but there's another man in the local area, X amount of miles away from her house, around the same hours of night. There's this other man with 2 backpacks.
Not one, but two.
2. Trying to, like, throw one over a fence
Okay.
behind the video is really
What
confusing.
if there's a body bag and maybe that's why it was so filled?
I don't know. Why is the backpack so filled?
Maybe there's a body bag in it.
Also, there's something abnormal about a grown man in the middle of the night walking around with 2 backpacks.
What?
There
may be a plausible reason for that.
There may be a plausible reason, but when we're solving crimes like this, Dad, as the investigators,
I'm not solving anything. I'm just here to ask the question, why does America care about this?
because we do, and we can't tell you
I don't
why.
think we do.
We actually do.
I don't think we do. I think we care about whatever media wants to tell us.
No, we care about this. People are obsessed with it. I am telling you.
Why?
Because they are. I can't explain why. I'm telling you that they are. I can only explain why I'm obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with all of this, Michigas. And
Well, ain't that the truth? So, Sky, the question on everybody's mind, did we break America?
not this week, no.
I don't know.
She seems to be in the same
I don't
bad
know.
position.
America must be broken if our only concern in life is wondering where an 84-year-old woman went to.
I also think it could be more palatable. It's an awful situation, but our own circumstances individually are probably worse.
But that's what I said before, and you called me crazy.
No, I said stop attacking me and the people.
No, you called me crazy.
No, I
You
didn't.
said that that's not the reason or that's not the point. But
I'm not miserable with my own life.
it is the point. We gain happiness or solace from watching other people have problems.
Maybe there's also an aspect of the celebrity that, like, maybe they're just like us.
Of course they're just like us.
But maybe that makes people feel better.
No,
I don't know.
we want to watch people suffer. Anyway, thank you for tuning in this week.
Let us know what you want to hear more about. Hopefully we'll have something fun to talk about next week.
Maybe they'll kidnap somebody else.
Okay, that's not God forbid.
Well, it's possible. I bet you so many people get kidnapped every day and nobody talks about it.
They do.
But this woman's mother, everybody's talking about.
They do, and that's awful, and we
I'm
should.
sorry, it's a little bit ridiculous.
Okay,
I'm sorry, it is.
here you are standing up for the people. Also, let us know if you want to hear more true crime.
Oh, boy.
If you're into it, I'd love to indulge you, and so would Corey.
Oh, yes.